A lot of guys have difficulty finding an attractive partner, a spouse, a girlfriend. Some guys have it pretty easy. Some guys have it harder than others. I've always been the kind of guy it's been easy for me. I've never had to try. Usually there's a few different options, and whatever I give more attention to, it just gradually turns into something. And I think that's a big reason why is because my focus is never there. I think a lot of guys that have trouble with women, um, they are just way too focused on getting a chick or being in a relationship or trying to find the one, which we all know that the more you want something, it's almost like it runs away from you more, right? And I think that's a big reason why it's always been so easy for me because while my focus is in other areas, my focus has never been on a female. It's never been on a woman. And I'll take you through a story that actually happened today, which happened in a grocery store, right? One of the most popular places, cliche places where people meet women or women meet men and they get exchange numbers, go out on a date, right? Well, I was on my way to the gym this morning, or to the grocery store. I had to grab a couple things, some coffee, some avocados, some protein, and nothing, not wearing anything too crazy. Just had this gray T-shirt on, gray sweats, which I know that's like a thing where oh yeah, he's wearing gray sweats. I had pretty baggy gray sweats on. They're just comfortable. I woke up. It was essentially my PJs, right? And just a pair of Nikes, not even clean. They're dirty. They're my running shoes, right? So definitely not like trying to go there to pick someone up, right? And I think a lot of guys, they watch videos online of like, oh, when you got to dress casually. And a lot of people have casual in their mind as something that's like, you're still really trying, which is fine, especially if you're going out to the bar, if you're going out to the movies, casual, but, giving some effort. This is my PJs, guys, for the most part. And I'm, just going there to grab a couple of things, right? So I get to the aisle, I'm looking for coffee, instant coffee. I love instant coffee because all you have to do is boil some water and then get a couple spoonfuls of the instant coffee, mix it in, and boom, it's ready. And so I go to one aisle and I'm kind of walking down looking for if there's coffee because I didn't read the signs on the top. And it was a pretty cute girl. She was at the other end of the aisle. And I think she was on the phone. I'm pretty sure she had an AirPod in talking to her friend or someone. And I didn't really look at her. I just could, through my peripheral, I don't really, that's what I'm saying. I don't ever really pay attention to, like look at her. If anything, I'm very disciplined with my eyes and I just stay focused on what I'm doing. And she was not the focus at that time. And she was at the other end of the aisle and the coffee wasn't on the aisle. So I left, went to the next aisle, found the coffee. I'm deciding which brand to actually get. And she comes all the way down to the end of the aisle, right? And I'm kind of looking, and she's standing pretty close, not super close, but like 3 feet away, also looking at the coffee, and goes to reach. I'm kind of crouched down, looking at the ones on the bottom shelf, and she's above me, and she goes to reach to. I already had coffee in my hand, so I'm about to take off. I was just looking at the other options, and she reaches above me to grab another one above me. And so I kind of like, oh, sorry, move out the way. And she does the same, oh, I'm so sorry, right? And, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, well, we just kind of got on each other's way at that time. So I was like, oh, yeah, it's no problem. And I just walked away, went to grab the rest of my stuff, and eventually walked out to my car, sat in it. On the way home, I started to realize that was that girl's way of opening herself for me to interact with her, to start a conversation, right? To get her number. Maybe not. And say, this is what I'm saying. I didn't even think of that in the moment, but when I started to think about it afterwards, I was like, actually, that kind of did seem like what was happening. She was a cute girl because I saw her. I kind of looked at her for a split second when she was really close to me. She was a pretty girl. And when I kind of thought about her reaction afterwards, after she reached over me and I kind of moved out the way and she said, oh, I'm so sorry. You know, me, I'm clueless, right? Because my mind is not ever on that. I'm not out searching or scouting or trying to find a chick. And so, I'm just thinking it's a genuine, just people kind of, bumping into each other. Even though she didn't actually bump into me, she just kind of reached above me, like around me. And a lot of girls, this is what made me think because, a lot of times if someone's in an area where I'm trying to get to, especially in a grocery store, I'm just going to let them search. And then, I know it's only going to be a couple of seconds or at max a couple of minutes and then they'll move. And then I go over there and get whatever I'm looking for. And that's what a lot of women will do most of the time. Like guaranteed if I was like, out of shape or scraggly looking or this, that, or the other, unattractive, she would have damn for sure waited until I kind of moved out the way. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm just in my head about it. Maybe I'm just fantasizing a random scenario. Who knows? But it was only when I got back to my car and I started thinking about the interaction and I thought, I'm pretty sure that girl was like, why would she get that close to me? And she was pretty cute. Like, she was not ugly at all. She wasn't like a bombshell 10, but she was definitely a cute girl, pretty. Took care of herself and well-groomed, nice hair, blah, blah, blah. And the fact that she got that close just to, I would have never done that personally. And the fact that someone does do that, like I said, I'm thinking at the moment in time, it was just an accident. I'll go on about my business. And so, all that to be said, what I'm saying through this video is, when your focus is not on the chick is gonna open herself up and wants to make herself available so you can go for her, And a lot of guys just don't get that, because they're so focused. They're so thirsty to get out the opportunity to talk to this chick or to, ask for this girl's number. So, I'm not going to call it desperate because it's normal. If you see something you like, a woman, and she's pretty, of course, ask for her number. My mind does not revolve that way because other things in my mind. I have other goals. And a lot of times, almost every single time, almost every single chick that I've ever been with, that I've ever dated, was because they approached me or made themselves available to me in a very obvious way. And even most of the time broke the ice, said hi to me before anything, and asked to, oh, we should talk, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. And then from there, it turns into something. Now, because I think I've had that approach with women my entire life, I think just by my natural way of being, I'm not in a mindset of chasing. I don't chase. And it's not to say that arrogantly, because, it's typically normal for the man to be seen as the chaser and the woman gets to choose all the men who are chasing her. But because I've never thought that way, I've never adopted those actions or those habits of, You know, I might see a very, very pretty girl that I'm like, wow, she's beautiful. I won't talk to her. And it's not because I'm scared. It's just because to me, it doesn't make a difference, you know? There's millions of pretty girls in the world. You see them everywhere you go. And there's lots of single ones, and there's lots of, there's so many opportunities that it's like, okay, well, if it's not that one, it's another one. If it's meant to be, I'll see you around again. It's always been like that with me. So a lot of guys, you just got to get your head out the gutter, man, and just refocus your priorities to the things that you want. And after a while of habitually thinking like this and acting like this, you're going to be so focused on other things that women will make themselves available for a guy who doesn't need them. If you give off like you need them, like very needy vibes, it's a big turnoff, So just build yourself up to be the guy that every chick wants. And you'll always be chased. And you won't even know it, like in my case. You won't even know that so many chicks are making themselves available for you at so many times throughout the day. And like I said, I noticed that just today, and it got me really thinking about all the interactions I've probably had in my life, especially lately, but throughout my entire life, where I always just like, oh, that was on. Why'd that happen? And I'm thinking back like, oh, she was probably trying to make herself available. So just be clueless. Be clueless, guys. Be a little bit naive. Not completely, but just if you really want something, just pretend you don't want it. And it'll come right to you. Peace.